Lesson 1: Sailing across the ocean.
Hi Anna. Have you ever thought about sailing across the ocean?
Hi John. Sailing the high seas? That sounds like an adventure.
Absolutely. Just imagine the thrill of crossing the vast open waters.
I can picture it now, the wind in our sails, the spray on our faces.
Exactly. And the sense of discovery, exploring new lands and cultures.
It must be an incredible experience. Have you ever sailed before?
You know, I haven't actually had the chance yet. But it's always been a dream of mine.
Same here. I've read so many stories about famous voyages and expeditions.
Me too. Like the Mayflower crossing the Atlantic to the New World.
Yes. And the daring circumnavigations of explorers like Magellan and Drake.
Absolutely. The courage and determination it must have taken is truly inspiring.
Definitely. I'd love to follow in their footsteps one day, even if just in a small way.
Me too. Maybe we could plan a sailing trip together sometime.
That would be amazing. I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Same here. We could charter a boat and explore the open seas.
Ooh, that sounds perfect. I'll start researching some options.
Wonderful. I can't wait to start planning our high seas adventure.
Neither can I. This is going to be an unforgettable experience.
Absolutely. I have a feeling this is just the beginning of a new chapter.
Lesson 2: Homemade Delights.
Yo Anna, have you been cooking at home more lately?
You bet. I've been trying out lots of new recipes.
That's awesome. What kind of dishes have you been making?
Well, I've been focusing a lot on hearty, homemade meals.
Ooh, like what? I'd love some ideas for my own cooking.
For starters, I've been whipping up some tasty pasta dishes.
Pasta, huh? That sounds delicious. What's your go-to pasta recipe?
I've been loving a simple marinara sauce with fresh herbs and veggies.
That does sound good. I'll have to give that a try.
Definitely. And I've also been experimenting with baked chicken recipes.
Baked chicken, eh? Any particular seasonings or techniques you found work well?
I've been rubbing the chicken with spices like paprika and garlic powder.
Ooh, that sounds like it would make the chicken super flavorful.
It really does. Homemade cooking has become such a fun hobby for me.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it so much.
Thanks. Let me know if you ever want any recipe recommendations.
Will do. I may have to take you up on that offer soon.
Lesson 3, A Pampering Day for Fido.
Hey Anna, did you happen to pick up some new treats for your dog?
As a matter of fact, I did. I got these delicious-looking dog biscuits.
Nice, your pup is going to love those. Do you have any other goodies for them?
I also grabbed a couple of new brushes to give them a nice grooming session.
Ah, that's so thoughtful. Keeping your dog well groomed is so important.
Definitely. I want to make sure my furry friend is looking and feeling their best.
I bet they appreciate all the pampering. Dogs really are man's best friend.
Absolutely. I try to spoil mine whenever I can. They deserve it.
I'm sure your dog is one happy pup. What's their favorite treat?
They go crazy for these little jerky strips. I have to hide them or they'll inhale them.
Ha, sounds like my dog. They have no self-control when it comes to treats.
Tell me about it. But it's so hard to resist those cute, pleading eyes.
I know, I always cave in. Dogs really know how to work us, don't they?
They sure do. But I don't mind spoiling them a little. They're family, after all.
Absolutely. Your dog is one lucky pup to have such a loving owner.
Ah, thanks, John. I just want them to be as happy as can be.
I'm sure they feel that way. Enjoy your pampering session with your furry friend.
Lesson 4, Vegging Out with Delicious Dishes.
Hey Anna, I heard you've been cooking up some tasty vegan dishes lately.
That's right. I've been experimenting with all sorts of plant-based recipes.
That's awesome. What kind of vegan meals have you been whipping up?
Well, one of my new favorites is a hearty vegan chili.
Ooh, vegan chile sounds delicious. What kind of ingredients do you use?
I load it up with beans, veggies, and a blend of spices for maximum flavor.
That sounds so satisfying. Can you make it completely dairy-free?
Absolutely. I just omit the cheese, and it's just as tasty.
Nice, that's great for those who are lactose intolerant or vegan.
Exactly. And I've also been perfecting a vegan lasagna recipe.
Vegan lasagna, huh? That must take some creativity to pull off.
It does, but the key is using plant-based cheese alternatives.
Ah, I see. That's a great substitution to keep it dairy-free.
Yep, and the texture is just as creamy and delicious.
I'm impressed. Your vegan cooking skills are on point.
Thank you. I've really been enjoying the challenge of veganizing classic dishes.
It's awesome that you're expanding your culinary horizons like that.
Definitely. Vegan cooking has opened up a whole new world of flavors for me.
I can imagine. Well, let me know if you ever want a taste tester for your creations.
Lesson 5: Breaking Boundaries and Finding Fulfillment.
Morning. I heard you're considering a career change. What's got you thinking about that?
Well, I've been feeling a bit unfulfilled in my current job. I want to do something more meaningful.
I see. What kind of work are you interested in that could be more fulfilling?
I'm drawn to roles where I can make a real difference, like social work or community activism.
That's admirable. What inspired this desire for more impactful work?
Growing up, I felt like girls and women were often under too much parental supervision.
I can understand that, leading you to crave a more independent, active life.
Exactly. I felt called to a life of action, to challenge societal expectations.
That's a powerful motivation. Have you explored any specific organizations or causes?
Yes, I've been looking into nonprofits that empower women and girls in my community.
That's great. I'm sure your passion and drive would be an asset to those kinds of initiatives.
I hope so. I'm excited to explore how I can use my skills to create positive change.
I admire your ambition. Following your passions is so important.
Absolutely. I'm ready to break out of the mold and forge my own path.
I'm confident you'll find the fulfillment you're seeking. Let me know if I can help in any way.
Thanks. Your support means a lot as I navigate this next chapter. Lesson 6: Achieving Your Goals.
Hey Anna, I heard you've been working on some new goals. How's that going?
Hey John, it's been great. I've been setting some realistic goals, and it's really helping me stay focused.
That's awesome. What kind of goals have you been setting for yourself?
Well, I've been trying to break down bigger tasks into smaller, manageable steps.
That's a smart approach. Tackling things piece by piece can make big goals feel less daunting.
Exactly. And I've been scheduling regular check-ins to track my progress.
Nice. Staying accountable is key when you're working towards something important.
Absolutely. It helps me stay organized and on top of things.
I'm impressed. What made you decide to start setting these kinds of goals?
I realized I was feeling a bit scattered, so I wanted to bring more structure to my days.
That makes total sense. Having a clear plan can make a big difference.
It really has. I feel more in control of my time and more motivated to follow through.
That's wonderful to hear. What kind of goals have you been focusing on?
A mix of personal and professional goals. Things like learning a new skill or cleaning out my closet.
Ah, a holistic approach. Balancing different aspects of your life is so important.
Definitely. I'm finding that the small wins on personal goals actually fuel my professional drive.
I can see how that would work. Feeling accomplished in one area boosts your confidence in others.
Exactly. It's been a really positive cycle so far. I'm excited to keep making progress.
I'm happy for you. Setting and achieving goals is so rewarding.
Lesson 7: Networking Opportunities.
Morning. I heard you're planning to attend that networking event next week.
Morning. Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping to make some valuable connections.
That's great. Networking can be such a powerful tool for personal and professional growth.
Absolutely. I'm trying to expand my network and meet new people in my industry.
Makes sense. Who knows what kind of opportunities could come from those connections?
Exactly. Even just having more people to bounce ideas off of can be really helpful.
For sure. And you never know when someone you meet might have the perfect job opening.
Definitely. I'm hoping to come away from the event with at least a few promising leads.
That's a great mindset. Focusing on quality connections rather than just quantity.
Exactly. I'd rather have a few meaningful conversations than try to talk to everyone.
Smart approach. Quality over quantity is key when it comes to networking.
Absolutely. I want to make sure I'm really engaging with people, not just collecting business cards.
Sounds like you've got a solid game plan. What are you most looking forward to at the event?
I'm excited to learn from the speakers and panelists. They're all respected leaders in the field.
Nice. Hearing different perspectives can be so valuable, especially for networking.
Definitely. And I'm hoping to find a mentor or two who can offer guidance and advice.
That's a great goal. Having someone more experienced to learn from can be transformative.
Exactly. I'm really hoping to make some meaningful connections at this event.
I'm sure you will. Just remember to be your authentic self and the right people will be drawn to you.
Lesson 8: The Importance of Forests.
Hey Anna, did you know that forests are crucial for providing us with natural medicines?
Fascinating. I didn't realize that forests play such an important role in healthcare.
Absolutely. Many of the medications we rely on are derived from compounds found in plants.
That's incredible. I never would have guessed that forests are essentially natural pharmacies.
Exactly. Researchers are constantly exploring the medicinal potential of rainforest plants.
That's really exciting. I bet there are so many undiscovered cures waiting to be found.
Definitely. And forests don't just provide us with medicines, they also help purify the air.
You're right. Trees are natural air filters, absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen.
Precisely. Forests are the lungs of our planet, playing a vital role in climate regulation.
I see. So protecting and preserving forests is not just an environmental issue, but a public health one as well.
Precisely. Deforestation doesn't just harm ecosystems, it can also have serious consequences for human health.
Wow, I never realized how multifaceted the importance of forests really is. This is eye-opening.
It is, isn't it? Forests provide so many essential services that we often take for granted.
Absolutely. I'm going to be much more mindful about the role forests play in my daily life.
That's great to hear. Every person making small changes can add up to big impacts.
Definitely. I'm inspired to learn more about how I can support forest conservation efforts.
Wonderful. There are so many ways individuals can get involved, from volunteering to advocacy.
Fantastic, I'll have to look into some local initiatives. This has been a really informative conversation.
I'm glad I could shed some light on the incredible value of forests. It's a topic close to my heart.
Lesson 9: The Joys of Solo Travel.
Hey Anna, have you ever considered going on a solo trip?
You know, I've actually been thinking about it a lot lately. What made you ask?
Well, I've been doing some research on the benefits of solo travel, and it's really intrigued me.
Ooh, I'd love to hear more. What kind of benefits have you discovered?
For one, it's an incredible opportunity for personal growth and self discovery.
That sounds really appealing. I can imagine it would be a profound experience.
Absolutely. And it's not just about that, it's also about the freedom and flexibility.
I can see how that would be a major draw. No having to compromise or coordinate with others.
Exactly. You can go where you want, when you want, and do exactly what you feel like doing.
That sounds incredibly liberating. I bet it would be so rejuvenating.
It really can be. And the connections you make along the way are often so meaningful.
I can imagine. Meeting new people and having those spontaneous interactions.
Definitely. It opens you up to so many unique cultural experiences and perspectives.
Wow, you've really piqued my interest. I'm starting to see the real appeal of solo travel.
I'm glad I could share some of the insights I've gained. It's definitely something worth considering.
For sure. I think I'm going to start looking into planning a solo trip of my own.
That's wonderful. I'd be happy to share any tips or recommendations I have.
I appreciate that. This has been a really inspiring conversation.
I'm glad I could inspire you. Solo travel can be truly life-changing.
Lesson 10: Exploring the Culinary World.
Morning. I heard you've been to some culinary events lately. What have you been up to?
You're right. I've actually been exploring the local culinary scene quite a bit.
Interesting. What kind of events have you been attending?
Well, I recently went to a few cooking workshops at the community center.
Oh, that sounds really fun. What did you learn at those workshops?
It was great. I picked up some new techniques for making homemade pasta and baking bread.
Wow, that's impressive. I'd love to learn more about bread baking.
It was such an eye-opening experience. I had no idea how much goes into making artisanal breads.
I can imagine. Baking bread from scratch must be quite a process.
Definitely. The instructors shared a lot of helpful tips and tricks.
That's awesome. Have you tried applying any of those techniques at home?
Yes, I have. I've been experimenting with different flours and starters.
Nice. I bet your homemade bread tastes amazing.
It's been a really rewarding hobby. I've even started selling some of my loaves at the local farmers market.
That's fantastic. Turning your passion into a small business is so admirable.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun, and I've met some wonderful people in the local food community.
I can see the appeal. Connecting with like minded foodies must be really fulfilling.
Absolutely. Have you ever attended any other culinary events in the area?
Unfortunately, no. But you've definitely piqued my interest. Maybe I'll join you at a workshop sometime.
Lesson 11: Exploring travel options, Thailand or Japan?
Hey Anna, I need your advice. I'm trying to decide between Thailand and Japan for my next vacation. Both seem like amazing destinations, but I'm a bit torn.
Ooh, those are two very different but equally fascinating places. What are you hoping to experience on your trip?
Well, I'm really interested in the cultural and culinary aspects of each country. I love trying new foods and immersing myself in different traditions.
That's a great perspective. Thailand is known for its vibrant street food scene and rich Buddhist heritage. Japan, on the other hand, has a unique blend of modern and ancient culture.
Exactly. That's what's making it so hard to choose. I'm intrigued by the temples and outdoor adventures in Thailand, but the high-tech cities and refined cuisine in Japan are also really appealing.
I can understand the dilemma. Have you considered the type of experience you're hoping for? Are you looking for a more laid-back, tropical vibe or a fast-paced, urban exploration?
That's a good point. I think I'm leaning more towards a slower-paced, immersive experience. The idea of exploring remote villages and natural landscapes in Thailand is really calling to me.
In that case, Thailand might be the better fit. You can experience the beautiful beaches, lush jungles, and vibrant local culture. The pace of life there tends to be a bit more relaxed.
That's helpful. And I suppose I can always save Japan for another trip when I'm craving a more high-energy, technology-driven adventure.
Exactly. The great thing is that both destinations offer incredible experiences. You really can't go wrong with either one.
You're right. I think I'm going to go with Thailand this time around. The more I think about it, the more excited I am about the prospect of discovering the country's natural wonders and rich heritage.
That's wonderful. I'm sure you're going to have an amazing time. Let me know if you need any tips or recommendations as you plan your trip.
Will do, thanks Anna. I appreciate you taking the time to talk through this with me. It's really helped me gain some clarity.
I'm happy I could be of assistance. Enjoy your travels, and don't forget to share some photos when you get back.
Absolutely, I'll make sure to do that. Thanks again. This has been a great conversation.
Lesson 12: Budgeting for the perfect getaway.
Morning. I'm starting to plan my next trip, and I could use your advice on budgeting.
Sounds good. What kind of expenses are you hoping to cover?
Well, I want to make the most of my travel experience, but I also need to be mindful of my budget. Food, accommodation, and transportation are my top priorities.
That's a great approach. When it comes to food, I'd suggest trying to find a balance between dining out and preparing some meals yourself. Local markets are a fantastic way to save on groceries.
Absolutely, I also plan to try local street food as much as possible. It's a great way to experience the culture and save money.
Definitely. And for accommodation, have you considered hostels or Airbnb style rentals? They can be much more budget friendly than hotels, especially for longer stays.
That's a good point. I've heard great things about hostels, especially for solo travelers like myself. And Airbnb could be a nice option for a more authentic, local experience.
Exactly. And for transportation, look into public options like buses, trains, or even ride sharing. Renting a car can get expensive, so try to limit that if possible.
That's really helpful advice. I'll make sure to research all those different transportation options and find the most cost effective ones.
Wonderful. And don't forget to set aside some budget for activities and experiences, too. Those can really make a trip memorable.
Definitely. I want to make sure I have enough to enjoy the local culture and attractions, without going over my overall budget.
Sounds like a great plan. Just be sure to leave some wiggle room in your budget for unexpected expenses or spontaneous adventures.
Good call. I'll make sure to have a little extra cushion just in case. This has been really helpful. I feel much more prepared to start finalizing my travel plans.
I'm glad I could provide some useful budgeting tips. Let me know if you have any other questions as you continue planning your trip.
Will do, thanks again. I'm really looking forward to this adventure and making the most of my travel budget.
Lesson 13: Exploring the museum's hidden gems.
Wow, you have to tell me more about that art museum you visited last week. I've been meaning to check it out.
It was amazing. There were so many fascinating exhibits and works of art. I could have spent all day there.
Really? What were some of the highlights for you? I'd love to hear about the pieces that stood out the most.
Well, the Impressionist collection was breathtaking. The way the artists captured light and movement was just mesmerizing.
Ah, I love Impressionist art. What about the other galleries? Anything else you'd recommend seeing?
Definitely. The ancient sculpture exhibit was incredible. There were so many intricate, detailed pieces that I couldn't stop admiring.
Ooh, that sounds right up my alley. I'm really into ancient history and civilizations.
You'd love it then. And the modern art wing was fascinating as well. There were some really thought-provoking, abstract installations.
Modern art can be a bit hit or miss for me, but I'm always open to expanding my horizons.
I know what you mean, but trust me, these pieces were captivating. They really made me see things in a different way.
Alright, you've piqued my curiosity. I'll have to carve out a whole day to explore the museum properly.
That's a great idea. There was just so much to take in. I felt like I needed more time to really appreciate everything.
Well, I'm glad you had such an amazing experience. Now I'm even more excited to visit and see it all for myself.
I'm sure you'll love it. Just be prepared to be blown away by the sheer scale and variety of the collections.
Duly noted. I'll make sure to pace myself and not try to rush through it all. This has got me really eager to plan my museum trip.
Wonderful. Let me know if you need any other tips or recommendations once you start planning. I'm happy to share more insights.
Absolutely, I'll be sure to pick your brain. Thanks again for the great recommendation. Can't wait to explore the museum's hidden gems.
Lesson 14: The Dance Dilemma.
Hey Anna, I've got a bit of a situation and I was hoping you could give me some advice.
Sure, what's going on? I'm happy to help if I can.
Well, there's this girl I really like, and I found out she's going to be at a dance party this weekend.
Okay, that sounds promising. Are you planning on asking her to dance?
That's just it, I'm not sure if I should. I'm not the best dancer, and I'm worried she might not want to dance with me.
I see. Well, confidence is key when it comes to dancing, even if your skills aren't the strongest.
But what if I mess up or make a fool of myself? I don't want to embarrass myself in front of her.
John, you can't let that fear hold you back. The worst that can happen is she says no, and then you've learned something for next time.
I guess you have a point. But what if she does say yes and then I can't keep up?
Then you ask her to teach you a few steps. Chances are, she'll be flattered that you want to learn from her.
That's a good idea. And I suppose even if I'm not the best dancer, the important thing is that I try, right?
Exactly. The most important thing is putting yourself out there and not letting your insecurities hold you back.
You know, you're right. I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. At least I'll have tried, instead of wondering what if?
That's the spirit. I have a good feeling about this. Just be yourself and have fun with it.
Alright, I'm feeling better about this now. Thanks so much for the pep talk. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. I'm rooting for you, and I can't wait to hear how it goes with the dance party.
Will do. Wish me luck.
Lesson 15, The Directions Dilemma.
Hey Anna, could I get your help with something?
Absolutely. What's up?
I'm trying to find this new restaurant everyone's been talking about, but I'm having trouble locating it.
Okay, do you know the general area it's in?
Well, I know it's supposed to be near the entrance of the shopping mall, but I'm not totally sure.
Let me think. The mall can be a bit of a maze sometimes. Do you have an address or cross streets you can give me?
Unfortunately, no. I was hoping you might know the place since you're around here more than I am.
Let me rack my brain. Is it the new one that just opened up a couple weeks ago?
I think so, yeah. I heard the food there is amazing.
Okay, I think I know the one you're talking about. It's right near the main entrance, on the left side as you're walking in.
Oh great, that helps a lot. How long does it usually take to get there from the parking lot?
Maybe 5 minutes or so, depending on how busy it is. It's not too far of a walk.
Awesome, that's perfect. I really appreciate you helping me out. I was getting a little lost trying to find it.
No problem at all. I'm happy I could point you in the right direction. Let me know how the food is if you end up going.
Will do, thanks again. I'm sure it'll be delicious.
Anytime, enjoy your meal. Lesson 16, Coordinating a Dinner Party.
Morning. I wanted to run an idea by you. How about we host a dinner party this weekend?
Ooh, that sounds like fun. What did you have in mind exactly?
Well, I was thinking we could invite a few close friends over, have a nice meal, and catch up.
I love it. Who did you have in mind to invite?
Maybe Sarah and Tom, and a couple of our other friends.
Great choices. And what kind of food were you envisioning?
I was thinking something casual but delicious, maybe a nice pasta dish or some grilled meats.
Yum, that sounds perfect. I can help you plan the menu if you'd like.
That would be amazing, I'd really appreciate the help. Any ideas on what to serve?
How about a spring vegetable pasta with a side salad? And we could do grilled chicken or salmon.
Ooh, that sounds absolutely delicious. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Haha, me too. And we should definitely have some wine and dessert too.
Absolutely. Maybe a nice red wine and a simple but tasty dessert.
Sounds like a plan. I can help you shop for the ingredients if you want.
That would be awesome, thanks Anna. I'll make sure to get all the supplies we need.
Perfect. Just let me know the date and time and I'll be there with bells on.
Wonderful, I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be a great night.
Me too. It'll be so nice to get everyone together for a fun, relaxing evening. Lesson 17, Transparency and Delivery.
Alright, let's talk about this new project we've been working on.
Absolutely. I think transparency is going to be key here.
I agree. We need to make sure everyone involved knows exactly what's going on.
Definitely. And not just the high-level details, but the nitty-gritty as well.
Exactly. People need to understand the full scope and timeline of this initiative.
Precisely. We can't afford any surprises or miscommunications down the line.
Totally. And in terms of the delivery, I think we need to be really careful about the timeline.
Good point. We have to make sure we're setting realistic expectations and deadlines.
Absolutely. Overpromising and underdelivering is a surefire way to lose credibility.
Exactly. We need to underpromise and overdeliver if we want this to be a success.
Definitely. And we should probably build in some buffer time, just in case.
Definitely a smart move. Better to have a little extra wiggle room than to be scrambling at the last minute.
Agreed. And we'll need to stay on top of progress monitoring too, to make sure we're on track.
Absolutely. Regular check-ins and status updates will be crucial.
Couldn't agree more. Transparency and tight project management, that's the key to delivering this well.
Well said. I think if we focus on those two things, we'll be in great shape.
I'm confident we can pull this off. As long as we stay aligned and communicate clearly.
Lesson 18, Exploring Hobbies.
Hey Anna, I've been thinking about trying out a new hobby. Do you have any suggestions?
Ooh, that's an exciting idea. What kind of hobbies have you been considering?
Well, I'm really intrigued by the idea of learning a new language. Do you think that could be a good option?
Learning a new language is a fantastic hobby. It's such a great way to challenge your brain and connect with new cultures.
That's what I was thinking too. Any particular languages you'd recommend I look into?
That's a tough one. Maybe something like Spanish or Mandarin could be interesting and useful.
Those both sound appealing. I'll have to do some more research and see what speaks to me.
Absolutely. And there are so many other hobbies out there too. Have you thought about picking up a new sport or craft?
That's a great point. I've always wanted to try my hand at woodworking, actually.
Ooh, woodworking. That could be really fulfilling. And you could make all sorts of cool DIY projects.
Exactly. I'm kind of handy, so I think I could really get into that. Maybe I'll start with something simple, like building a birdhouse.
That's such a fun idea. Birdhouses are the perfect beginner woodworking project.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Thanks for the great suggestions. I'm feeling inspired.
Anytime. I'm excited to see what new hobby you end up pursuing. Keep me posted, will you?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to trying something new and stepping outside my comfort zone.
Lesson 19, The Perfect Outfit.
Morning. I'm on the hunt for a new outfit for a special occasion. Any fashion tips?
Ooh, that's exciting. What kind of event is it? That'll help me give you some good recommendations.
It's a wedding, one of my closest friends is getting hitched. I want to look my best, but I'm not sure where to start.
A wedding outfit, that's a great opportunity to dress up. For a formal event like that, I'd suggest looking for a classic suit or a nice button-down shirt with dress pants.
A suit, huh? I do have a few nice ones in my closet already. But I was also thinking about maybe finding a sharp-looking blazer instead.
Ooh, a blazer could be a great option. That would give you a more relaxed, stylish look. And you can pair it with some well-fitted trousers.
I like the sound of that. And do you have any thoughts on colors or patterns I should consider?
For a wedding, I'd recommend sticking to more neutral or muted tones, maybe a navy blue or charcoal gray blazer. You could even do a subtle pinstripe or plaid pattern.
Ooh, I like the idea of a patterned blazer. That could add a really nice touch of personality to the outfit.
Absolutely. And you could keep the rest of the look simple, a crisp white shirt, maybe some brown or black dress shoes.
That's a great suggestion. I think I have just the blazer in mind, actually. It's a nice gray herringbone one.
Ooh, that sounds perfect. Herringbone is such a classic, sophisticated pattern.
I'm feeling really good about this outfit plan. Thanks so much for the awesome tips. You're a lifesaver.
Anytime. I'm sure you're going to look absolutely dashing at the wedding. Have a wonderful time.
I appreciate it. I can't wait to show off the new look. Talk to you soon.
Lesson 20, Ethical Dilemmas.
Hey Anna, can I get your take on something? I've been facing an ethical dilemma at work.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing. What's going on?
Well, my boss has been pressuring me to fudge some of the numbers in our financial reports. He says it's just a harmless white lie to make the company look better.
Yikes, that's a tricky situation. On one hand, I can see why your boss wants to put a positive spin on things. But on the other, that would be considered fraud, which is definitely illegal.
Exactly. I've been really torn about it. The company is struggling, and I know my boss is just trying to keep us afloat. But I have serious moral reservations about cooking the books.
I totally understand your dilemma. It's a tough call, you want to be loyal to your company, but you also have to uphold your own ethical principles.
Right? And I'm worried that if I refuse, it could jeopardize my job. But I just can't bring myself to do something I know is wrong, even if it might help the business.
That's a really tough spot to be in. Have you considered speaking to someone else in the company about your concerns? Maybe there's a way to address the issues without resorting to unethical tactics.
I have thought about that, but I'm not sure who I can trust. My boss is the one pushing this, and I don't want to get anyone else involved and potentially cause more problems.
I see. Well, in a case like this, I really think you need to follow your moral compass. Even if it means risking your job, being honest and upholding your principles is so important.
You're right. I think deep down, I already knew that's the path I need to take. It's just scary, you know? But I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror.
Absolutely. I know it's not an easy decision, but in the long run, you'll feel so much better about yourself if you stay true to your ethics. Wishing you the very best with this.
Thanks. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and offer your perspective. It's helpful to talk it through with someone.
Of course, anytime. I'm glad I could provide a sounding board. Just remember, you've got this, stay strong and do the right thing.
Will do. I'll keep you posted on how it all turns out.
Lesson 21, The Moon Landing.
Morning. Have you been following the news about the upcoming moon mission?
You bet. I'm so excited about it. It's been over 50 years since the last lunar landing.
Absolutely. The US government has been sponsoring this new program, and it's finally coming to fruition.
I can't wait to see the first images from the new lunar module. I wonder what kind of scientific discoveries they'll make this time around.
Me too. I heard they're planning to conduct all sorts of experiments and explorations on the surface.
That's right, I read they want to establish a more permanent presence on the moon this time. Maybe even build a research station there eventually.
Wow, that would be incredible. Imagine being able to live and work on the moon. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
I know. It's crazy how far space technology has come. When you think about the original Apollo missions, this is truly a giant leap forward.
Definitely. I'm sure the astronauts selected for this mission must be over the moon, no pun intended.
Huh. I'm sure they're thrilled. It's such an honor to be chosen for a historic mission like this.
Absolutely. I can't even begin to imagine what it must feel like to walk on the lunar surface.
Me neither. It must be an awe-inspiring and humbling experience. I'm so glad we're returning to the moon.
Me too. It's going to be fascinating to see what they discover and learn from this new chapter in space exploration.
I agree. This mission has the potential to unlock so many new insights about our celestial neighbor.
Definitely. I'll be glued to the TV when they start broadcasting live from the moon. Can't wait.
Lesson 22, The Reformation.
Hey Anna, did you catch the documentary on the Reformation last night?
No, I missed it. What did you think about it?
It was really fascinating. It explored how different Protestant churches were formed during that period.
Ah, I see. The Reformation was such a pivotal time in European history, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Lots of wars were fought between local rulers who favored different religious factions.
Yeah, the power struggles between the Catholic Church and the various Protestant groups were intense.
For sure. It led to a major shift in the religious and political landscape across the continent.
Definitely. I'm always amazed by how much those religious conflicts shaped the course of history.
Me too. It's crazy to think about how much bloodshed and upheaval was caused by theological disagreements.
Right? It just goes to show how deeply rooted people's beliefs can be, and how passionately they'll defend them.
Exactly. The Reformation really highlighted the divisiveness that can arise from differing religious views.
Absolutely. But it also paved the way for greater religious freedom and diversity, which is a positive legacy.
You're right. It's a complex legacy, with both positive and negative consequences.
Definitely. It's a fascinating period to study, that's for sure. Lots of lessons to be learned there.
Definitely. I'm glad I caught that documentary. It really made me appreciate the significance of the Reformation.
Same here. It's always good to learn more about the pivotal moments in history that shape our world today.
Agreed. There's still so much to unpack when it comes to the Reformation and its lasting impact.